Hello, Mr. Vijay Kumar. Welcome to the event. I guess he can't hear me. We'll just wait for 5 more minutes for everyone to join in and then we'll start. Good evening, sir. Ashish, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, Ashish. So,
Hi, good evening. How are you both?
I'm good.
Fine. How are you?
Great. Yeah. We're ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll just wait for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
Okay.
No problem. Let's see.
Yeah.
How things go.
Okay, so let's start. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's event on Journey to Leadership with Commander Ashish Bhanot. I'm Vidya. I'm dealing the HR and Operations at Mentors Guru, and my co-host Mansi will be moderating this event for you. And this event is brought to you by the Mentors Guru. Mentors Guru is an initiative by Ratnesh Singh where we find the best mentors available and make them available for mentees who are eager to learn. We're basically from Gurugram, India, but then we operate both nationally and internationally. And we conduct e-workshops and talk shows on corporate skills. First of all, I would like to welcome our esteemed guest for today, Ashish Bhanot, sir. Ashish Bhanot, sir, joined National Defense Academy in Pune in 1988. And after 3 years of rigorous training, which he started at the age of 18, he was commissioned into the Navy in June 1992. He opted to join the technical branch of Navy and underwent training at the Indian Naval Ship Shivaji for a degree course in mechanical engineering. Later, in 1998, he opted for the aviation branch, and from there, his journey in aviation of Indian Navy started. Commander Ashish Bhanot was a part of Kargil War as well as anti-piracy patrolling of Mauritius and Seychelles. He retired in the rank of commander from Indian Navy in April 2019 after 26 years of service to the nation. I welcome you to this event, sir. And it's my pleasure to have you on board.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you very much. It's a important event for me also, and thanks for having me on the show. I hope I do justice with this talk show.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very
Even
much.
all are waiting to learn a lot from you. And next, I would like to welcome all the audience who are present here. I hope you all are as excited as I am because I'm really hoping to look forward to Sir sharing his experience and all. So I think we are good to start the discussion. Sir, can we begin? Are you comfortable?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. But before that, I wanted to tell all our audience that if you guys have any questions, please put it down in the chat box and we'll be coming back to that. Okay, so sir, the first thing that I'm really dying to know is what keeps you motivated to continue learning and keep trying different things?
So there's nothing which keeps you motivated. I think so. See, learning is something you don't require motivation for that, right? I want it's like it is something which comes from within. It is like this that I want to learn new things, right? What is happening in the world? what is happening all around you, right? So yeah, so that particular, the importance of having knowledge keeps me motivated to keep doing learning things. And the best part was that after almost 20 years, I did my MBA after a long gap after my MTech, which I did in 2002. Yeah, though it was difficult, challenging, after 20 years back to books, but yes, it was very interesting and I enjoyed it. And there's no harm in learning, right? You keep learning new things because that's how you keep your mind active. Otherwise, it'll become dull. If you're in a particular profession, you may read about your profession, you may study about your profession. You're limiting your knowledge to a specific vertical or a specific domain. What happens is when the best part of learning continuously is one thing, you are upgrading yourself with the knowledge. Second thing, maybe you have done some courses, so you get some certifications. So, all this, what helps is when you're sitting in a group of people, you are not the odd man out, isn't it? So you know what they're talking, right? You can always contribute something. So in case if you've not learned, if you not have the knowledge of certain things, yes, you will just fold a hand, just keep sitting and keep watching what they're talking. So it becomes a little uncomfortable sometimes. So that what keeps me, upbeat to keep learning new things in all around the place.
So this enthusiasm to learn and continue learning is something that we youngsters really want right now, including me. I don't know how you managed to do it, but it's really great. I'm actually looking up to you right now.
It's all time management.
Yeah,
how
definitely.
how you manage your time, doing your job or your studies. How you take, see, all it requires is just 1 hour. I have been doing that after my retirement. It just requires that 1 hour per day to devote yourself on yourself. Besides what you have already studied or whatever you are in the your own vertical. I'm sure in 24 hours, after 8 hours of sleep, you can devote, everyone can devote 1 hour of time for your own self to learn new things.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mansi, you can go ahead.
Okay, hi sir, good evening.
Hi, Mansi.
Hi. So I just wanted to know, like you said, you were a part of Kargil war, which happened.
Yeah.
So can you share your experience about it, like what all you learned and what all you did during that thing?
So Kargil war, way back in 1999, it was a big journey which I went through in terms of leadership. I'll give you a small background so that the things fall in place. After my commission 1982, I joined Navy, went through my degree course and all that. And in the year 1998, early 98, I joined aviation. I went through the 1 year course. And in the month of Jan 99, I got posted to Goa for doing my on-job training. See, in Navy, for any specialization, you undergo of 4 to 6 months of on-job training. Okay, so I joined a particular squadron from Jan onwards to get trained and certified in the aviation side. And it was month of May when I got qualified. Okay, to as the aeronautical engineer, and this Kargil war had started. Though Kargil war took some time before things actually started moving. If you see the timelines of Kargil war, it took some time before things were actually heated up. Yeah, so I remember it was first week of May 99 when I got my we get a certificate saying that, that time Lieutenant Ashish Bhanot is hereby qualified and cleared to clear aircrafts and undertake maintenance of aircrafts. And everything was okay. I was reappointed there as a deputy air engineer. So my senior, he went on leave. This was in April, because Kargil had started only in, second week of May. So he went on leave. I was all alone in the squadron. In the squadron, everything is fine. So this Kargil was started. Though in that time, Navy did not recall its personnel, because we were not in the active war zone like what Army was. Yes, all the ship people's posted on the ships were recalled, but not otherwise. So now I was alone. Kargil war was catching up, heat was catching up. So I was told ki you have to be on standby, prepare to move assets in the forward bases. And at that time, I had about eight helicopters under my command. Young, just 1 month into aviation, I was still trying to catch a hold of it's like you go into a job and you get that you're still getting a hang and who's who and things are working around. So I was told to fine, I have to prepare 8 aircrafts along with men, along with material to be shifted and to remain standby within 24 hours. Within 48 hours to be deployed immediately. So that was a big, a task which was given to me, and I had no choice but to take the task, because that's why I joined the Navy and the defense. And so the first thing, first, got back to my books, got back to my training, what I was taught, how I was groomed to lead men, to lead operations. So, we in 24, in about 36 hours, we prepared 8 aircrafts to be deployed. There were helicopters, basically, anti-submarine helicopters to be deployed, on the Western Front. And I was the only officer in the squadron in terms of the technical officer there available. So it was a challenging task. I got my men together, briefed them. There was a mission to complete. There was a goal to achieve. There was a deadline to achieve. Yeah, so we did it. We did it by the book. We had challenges. We ran around for the next 48 hours. We did not sleep, because we had to deploy the assets. And so that was my first leadership experience, to lead men actually in operations in war scenario, and I learned a lot. And the best thing in that was I took my team along with me. Okay, I was with them on the ground, looking into everything, every problems. It was not like, sometimes you'll find people sitting in the office and sending out parchments and letters and orders, go do this, go do that, do this. I never did that. A leader is one who gets up and works along with his team. That is what I have been taught in my training in NDA, and that's what I followed till date, till the day I retired. So I was with them on ground, preparing everything, doing up. We had to make sure that the helicopters were mission worthy, they were weaponized, and they were all checks were carried out, so that nothing is left, left to a problem. And 48 hours, yes, we were ready to deploy, and eventually it took about a week, 10 days before those 4 of them got deployed. And so we were on what we call as 4 hours notice. that is the imminent, scenario which is called. So for the next 10 days, we were on 4 hours notice, and we were eating, sleeping in the office. Families were way back, and I remember very clearly. Uh, 1st June was my son was born, and for a good 10 days I could not see him, because I was in the squadron, and Kargil was already on the heat. So that was a big lesson there for me to learn, experience, manage, lead the men. I almost 100 men were deployed, along with 4 helicopters, along with a huge amount of weapons and equipment. So that was the experience, and that particular experience, it changed my life in terms of leading people. That was my first practical experience of leading people in such a scenario. Yeah.
Sir, that
Thank
requires a lot of courage. I mean, I was sitting and trying to picture someone who, just got into a field and then handling such a big thing. I really don't know how you did that, but hats off to you for that, actually.
So I will see the. I will give all the credit to what happened, how I did it is to my training. See, for anything in any job you go, the training is most important. You have to get trained for that particular job, and you have to deliver. That's why you have been trained for,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So it was like back to books of my career days in NDA, trying to understand. Okay, we have in while training in NDA, every person is made a leader to lead. That's how the grooming is done. Okay, so it was like going back and, okay, there I did this. How do I implement it here? Maybe modify it a little bit depending on the present situation. And yes, it did work, and a lot of lessons I have learned from that.
Okay. Moving on, sir. What are some of the skills and values that a leader should possess?
See, there are a lot of things a leader should possess. If you see, the first and foremost, most important thing is, a leader should be a leader, not a boss. I'll give you a difference in leader and boss. A boss is one who's sitting in his office and passing the orders, right? But a leader is one, while he's passing the orders, he gets up, moves around, goes to his team, checks up, monitors, makes sure that whatever has been planned is executed the way it is supposed to be done. He sees what challenges his team is facing, because it's very easy for me to sit in a air conditioned compartment office, sitting and passing orders without understanding what my team is going through. See, planning is one thing, execution is another thing, right? You may plan for a lot of things, but while executing, you may come across a lot of risks, a lot of challenges to execute, right? So those things have to be dealt with immediately there and then. And if you are not there with your team, how will you come to know? You will have to wait for them to come back to you, tell them. So the time which elapses would cost you money, revenue. Okay, so a leader is someone who gets up, walks around, takes his team along. That's more important. He should be more worried about his team, how they are implementing, how they are executing the job. Okay, so there are a lot of other things which, as a leader, one should be, what we call as traits or leadership, or whatever you may call it. So, he should be, first of all, confident of the job, what he's doing. He has to have a lot of patience. He has to be truthful, right? He should be focused on the job. Next, first, most important thing is he should be able to listen to the ideas coming from his team. rather than implementing your own thoughts and ideas on others. It is always, a leader should always be open to ideas, because you may not know, somebody like Vidya may just give you a, top rank concept and idea, which is just maybe much better than the leader, isn't it? So if what happens is, if I don't listen, I'm not humble. There's no humility in the leadership. Humility is very important. One has to be, listen, understand what the other team is saying, assess it, and then maybe, if required, modify your own ideas, your own plans, to make it a 100% success. Yeah. So there are a lot of, and you have to be a self motivator. If you yourself are not motivated, you cannot motivate a man. Motivation, I will say, is the most important thing of being a leader. If you can't motivate your men, you may use danda, you may use all kinds of languages to get the work done. Work may get done, okay, but there's no happiness, there's no satisfaction in that, right? There may be a lot of grudges among the team. Tomorrow they may not function for you. Today they have, tomorrow they may find all excuses, sir, nahi ho sakta, can't be done. They'll give you all kinds of excuses, right? So you have to keep motivating them. Next is appreciation. A leader should be one who should be appreciating for the smallest thing done in the team, right? If I don't appreciate, how am I going to motivate the team members? 100% success in a team, let's say in a team of 10 members, the job done, well done, launched, product launch, success. But if there's no appreciation to each one of them, not to the person who comes up and says, sir, maine kya, sir, maine kya, I've done this, I've done this. No, each and every member of those 10 people have contributed to the success. Each and everyone should be appreciated, not only at the end of the job done, but during the whole process of it. That will motivate each and every one. If today Mansi or Vidya are not appreciated for the job done, you will always say, yeah, I have done my work, I have done my best, I've not done extra, but nobody's coming and giving me 2 words to say, well done Mansi or well done Vidya. Correct? See, those 2 words, well done, is something everyone wants to hear, isn't it? So that helps you to keep your team motivated always. This is what I can say about leadership.
Mansi, please go ahead.
Okay, so sir, like you said about leadership, so basically most of the people do have the idea like leadership cannot be groomed or something. How would you explain that from your experience, what you have got till now? And what would you advise to the people who actually want to become a leader? What will you advise them basically?
See, leadership, yeah, there's a saying called leaders are born, right? Yeah, there are a few percentage of them. Maybe I will say 5% are born leaders, right? But the rest 95% leaders have to be groomed. You see, everyone is a leader. Everyone in its own place is leader. Vidya is a leader, Mansi is a leader, and all my dear friends on the who have connected today are leaders in their own place. I'll give you a typical example. People who are married at home, husbands or wives, they are leaders in their own. They are leading their family. They are making decisions for the family. They are being proactive about the children's education, about the family's future, right? That means they are leaders because they are leading their own life, right? People who are bachelors, they are deciding about the future. They are thinking how I need to get a job, what all skill sets I require, right? How, what is my aim? They made an aim for themselves. How do I achieve them? They make a path for themselves. That means, how can they do it? Because there is some leadership element inside them. Now that leadership element has to be brought out, has to be groomed, correct? So you can groom people to become leaders. For that, I used to do it, and it was successful for quite a much time. In my team, throughout my service career, wherever I had members under me, I used to every day I used to make one person as a team leader. Today you are in charge of today's work. Okay. So morning he comes, he used to come to me. I tell him, okay, this is the work. Now you go back, tell it to the rest of the team members, and in the evening come back and brief me as to what the work has been done, along with the team members. So this I used to make it as a rotation every day, one chap, one chap. So what I noticed in this is that they used to feel good. Today, okay, yeah, today I'm the leader of my team, right? I have to manage these people. I have to get the job done. So he used to be, up and up, upbeat and running on, get the job done. Problems come back to me, sir. This is a problem. Okay, go do it like this. Try like this. So this is what the process I followed, and it has been quite successful among my people, among the team members, and I got 100% results. I got 100% results in this. So the leadership is there in everyone. It is just that how it has to be brought out. That's the main question. And that can only happen if you are groomed, trained in a manner by, leading small things in your office. Take that initiative. I will do it today. You may fail one day, but next day you will not fail. Why you will not fail next day? Because you have learned some lessons from that, from the previous year's failure. Isn't it? So you yourself will assess yourself, okay, that day I did like this and I couldn't do it. This time I will not repeat the same mistake. Right? So that will help you to bring about change in yourself, and you will yourself come to know that your own leadership qualities are coming out. Right? I hope I've answered that question, Mansi.
Yeah, sir, you did. And I do even believe that everybody is a leader. They do work hard if they get the opportunity.
It is not if they get opportunity, you have to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
totally.
if you think you have the leadership, that urge is there, go ahead and take the opportunity. Fine, you'll fail once, you'll fail twice, but not the third time. Okay? And the best part is, and the best thing is, learn from your failures. Take out the positives from those things, not the negatives. Okay? I have to have failed, but then I have taken the positives of the failure to go ahead and become and deliver 100% the next time. You'll automatically see you're grooming your own self by doing that. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Because there is, this misconception that managing a group of people and commanding them, that is a leadership. But that is really not the case. I think people should understand that more and more.
Yeah. See, if you're a leader, you will lead men, you will lead people.
Yes.
Correct? As I said, everyone is a leader at his own place. correct? You may be sitting, there's no harm if you're part of a project, you're part of a team, there's no harm in taking initiative, provided that initiative is for the good of the project, good for the whole team. It should not be, selfishness should not come into place. Understand what I'm saying? There should not be any selfishness in that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay. So we have Major General Alok Raj sir with us. I welcome
My
you
God.
to this event, sir.
Hi, how are you? कैसे हो मनोज?
So I'm fine, sir. Nice to have you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ratnesh. And other participants. I thought I'll say hello to you. I just joined.
Thank you very much, sir, for being here. I hope I do justice.
Oh, yes, of course.
You-
I just joined a little late, and it is nice to hear from a young colleague. You were super innovated some time ago.
Pardon, sir?
You super innovated, or you are still in service?
No, sir. I retired in 2019, sir. I took my PMR. Yes. Yes.
Great. So good to hear. What you spoke just now. Very nice. The questions are, of course, very very good question that have been put up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I joined for some time. Okay.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you, Manoj. All the best. God bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Jain, sir.
Sir. Okay. So moving on, sir, you said that you were part of anti-piracy patrolling. What is that, and could you please share your experience?
Yeah. So, are you aware that? Okay, what is anti-piracy? You must have heard these stories long back in books. Pirates at sea. Hijacking ships, boats. Something. It's exactly the same thing. So this anti-piracy started somewhere in 2004, 2005, I think, so if I'm not wrong correctly. And this was started on the east coast of Africa, especially from the country called Somalia. So we used to call them Somalian pirates, right? For whatever reasons, the piracy started. Now they used to come on small boats. They used to hijack the merchant ships and ask for ransom, huge amounts of ransom. For days together, the ships used to be hijacked, ransom used to be paid in millions of dollars. And, sometimes they used to destroy the cargo, take it away. They used to take the ships next to the coast, unload those cargoes in some portions, take it away, sometimes destroy them, throw them in the sea. So it was affecting the whole merchant, cargo trade channels across in that place, in that area. So all the countries got together and said, okay, we'll start doing anti-piracy patrolling by the Navy, naval forces of different countries. So India was also part of that, and more so because all the merchant trade used to cross south of Sri Lanka and go up right up to Gulf of Aden. That was the main channel of what we call as sea lanes of communication. SLOC, sea lanes of communication. So India being a peninsular country, if you see the map, correct, and if you go to, there's a website, I'm not getting the name, you can see the kind of trade channel, the number of ships which are traveling across the peninsula of India. So it was more important for us to maintain and to defend our own coast, as well as be part of the international efforts to prevent such anti-piracy. So this was way back in 2009. Again, as it would happen, I just joined the ship, and I joined the ship within a week. I was told, Ashish, we have got orders. We have to go for 3 months of deployment for anti-piracy. it hit me like a stone. Manga, sir, fine. I had just joined in, so fine, okay. It's like this. It was nothing new to me. Fine, sir. We said we'll do it. So luckily we got 2 weeks time to prepare ourselves instead of 1 week. And so I, prepared my crew. I was the engineer officer of that ship. That is the head of the engineering department. So I prepared my crew. We sat down together. We planned each and everything. We planned for all kinds of risks and challenges which we can face. And we were going off Seychelles and Mauritius. Now you may say, yeah, Seychelles and Mauritius, two beautiful blue water countries. Yeah, we were very happy. Okay, good. Rather than going to any other country in Africa, it's good to be off Seychelles and Mauritius, blue waters. But the challenge was the one-way trip was 11 days to reach the nearest land. And we were in Visakhapatnam. So we had to go all the way to Seychelles first and then to Mauritius. It was a 3 months deployment. So I sat down with my team. We planned for each and every, challenges in terms of what materials we need to carry, what maintenance routines we need to carry on our equipment. We had to, prepare our own men in terms of training for long durations at sea, because when you're at sea, there's nobody around you except for once in a while you see a seagull flying across and coming and sitting on the deck. Otherwise, there's nothing, water and the sky, nothing else. So it becomes very challenging. The families of the people had to be taken care of. So, they have to be, since the families will not see their husbands for good 3 months. So those issues had to be taken care of. So we planned everything and we ensured that everything, is on board before we left for this deployment. Now, during the deployment, both across Seychelles and Mauritius, we happened to catch 3 groups of pirates. I'll call them pirates, okay? 3 groups of them. First time I ever saw what a pirate looks like. I always read in the books, pirates, those hats and the one patch on the eye and all that, but nothing like that. They're all Somalian people moving around in small boats, having huge amount of weaponry. They used to carry some grub along with them, and they used to float in the open oceans waiting to hijack ships. So we were there to prevent all this, and we managed to 3 months we managed to catch about 3-4 of them, and it was a great experience that time. First time how you deal with them, how you come across how to deal with them. Now among all this, I had my own challenges. We went through a major defect in our engines right in the middle of the sea. We were still 3 days away from the nearest land. So we did a jugaad, typical like Indians we do jugaad. So I had to do a jugaad to make sure that engine runs. And people down the line, they were pretty apprehensive. Sir, how do we manage to run this for three days before we reach there? Now, do we get the part which was required to be replaced? This was in Seychelles. Okay, so when we reach Seychelles, do we get this part? How will we get the part? He says, don't worry, that's my job, I'll do it. So immediately I informed my commanding officer and sir, I told him, sir, I want to connect through SATCOM to my material depot. He says, Ashish, how can you do that? Yeah? I'll speak to him. And sir, you speak to him or I'll speak to him. It's one and the same thing. I know what is to be done. I think you let me handle it. It's not, commanding officer talking to them. Leave it, sir, I'll manage it. I just want a permission to, ring up through SATCOM. So go ahead. I called up the big boss there in the material depot. I told him this is a problem. and we raised a request in the middle of the sea. He says, Ashish, thanks for coming up, and job will be done. Any other things, let me know. Then I called up my operations teams also who were there in Visakhapatnam. I informed them also. And so for the next 3 days, they were in touch with me regularly. I had to give them sit reps reports twice a day, how things are going, things are under control. So things were under control because I had managed it out. Right? We as a team, we were a team of 20 sailors along with me, and we made sure that this is the first and the last defect ever happened at sea in my watch. I told them very clearly, gentlemen, this is the first and the last defect we have encountered. Okay, what henceforth, please be very careful. If you have the slightest of a doubt that the item is going to fail, let me know. We will make sure that thing is replaced and going. At no cost, this particular deployment has to fail. See, when you tell your team your goal, the objective, the mission, you brief them very clearly, this is what it is. You motivate them. They rise up to that occasion. And touch wood, for next 2.5 months, we did not face a single defect, and we had a excellent mission completion, and we came back very happy. We met all our so-called requirements, and this thing. At the same time, we enjoyed also. Being Mauritius and Seychelles, we enjoyed also. We had we had our own good times there. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, it's very important how you take your team along, how you motivate them and keep them motivated throughout. Imagine 3 days you're at sea, you can't speak to your family, there's nobody there around you. It becomes difficult. It affects your psychology after some time. People become silent. First 3-4 days, everyone is chopping around, talking. After that, you'll find everyone is quiet because things start catching up onto you. So those are challenges. You have to maintain their sanity also, because when the ship is at sea, all equipments of the ships are running. Right? So we do a 4 hours watch. In 24 hours, they divide into 4 hours each. So 4 hours watch, everyone has to be on the clock around. And me being the head of the department, it was my duty to make sure that each and every equipment, each and every team member of mine is working, is awake and doing his job. So for me, it was not a 4-hour watch. For me, I was awake 24 hours. Right? So that can only happen if you motivate your men, you have those leadership qualities in you, you lead your men in a manner that is required. Yeah. So that was the whole experience of being at anti-piracy patrolling, and a lot of things to learn from that.
Okay, so after whenever we create a goal, basically we have to create a collective vision towards that goal. So how did you achieve it?
So as I said, you have a goal in front of you. Now, how do you achieve it? Correct? So first and first most important thing is you plan for it. You do the whole planning for it. Like, okay, every goal is like a project. Correct? The goal is the end result, but you have to plan for it. You have to execute it, monitor it. Correct? And then reach the goal That is the completion of it. Now, when a goal is decided upon, the first thing what I used to do is get my team members along, bring them, sit, discuss each and everything, give them time, delegate the jobs. Who's going to do what? Who's going to do what? Tell them to give their presentations. How are they going to achieve their portion of the job? Correct. See, and brief them on the total objective of the goal. Why the goal is important, how it will be done, give them a broad, outline, so that they know, okay, this is how it has to be done. Correct. Now you delegate the jobs and tell them to give their own presentations, how each team will function, what job will do, and what will be their timelines. When you get all this information to you, then is the time when you actually plan the whole the whole project as such. Once the planning is done, it is finalized, it is decided, everyone is clear, everyone is briefed, there should be no doubt about it. Correct. But yes, there's nothing perfect in this world, so there will always be, you should be ready to take the risk, ready to bring changes as the plan gets executed. See, planning, you always plan wherein as if there's no risk involved, isn't it? But there are risks involved, so you have to take care of those risks also as part of your planning. But those risks may not be what you have thought of. Some new would get generated as the plan gets executed, right? So their team members have to be ready for that. So once the plan is done, it is decided, people have understood the whole thing, the plan gets executed, and then one should be ready to bring about a change as and when the challenges keep coming up. So this was the concept which I followed throughout. And yeah, so I got my results, 100% results. I never failed in any project. There were challenges. Some challenges were beyond my control. So there were some delays in certain projects, but those challenges were beyond my control. But those are within my control, yes, because I had a good team. I kept them motivated. I followed the basic things: appreciate them, motivate them, be honest with the team members, have confidence over yourself, stay focused. Right? These things, if you are there with you, you cannot fail any project. But there will be some environmental challenges. There will be some risk which will be, beyond our control, which suddenly crop up. Right? Have patience. Don't just become jittery about it. Oh, what happened now? No. Stay calm. Stay patient. Have patience. Only then you'll think in the right manner, in the correct way. That is the biggest trait of a leader. If a leader gets jittery, he will fail immediately. Right? If a leader fails, be assured the team will not respond, and team will also fail. So these were the basic concepts which I followed throughout my career. And these, it is not that somebody told me something. It is I learned as I grew up in service. By looking around how people are doing, how my seniors are doing it, modified those things. If I see something, okay, he's done it like this, okay, it may not be applicable to me in the same manner. I can modify it to suit my way of doing things and doing the project. So that helped me a lot. Yeah.
Okay, sir, you have managed, many teams that were in different verticals in such a complex environment. Like you said, many times people might not be able to see their family, they become quiet. So what are the steps that you took to manage such a situation?
So yeah, different verticals at different places, different kinds of jobs, different roles, different responsibilities. Every role, every responsibility had its own challenges. So what I used to do is I used to give time to myself to understand first what are the challenges are. Right? You join a new job, you join a new role. See, in the defense, you are not trained for a particular vertical as you are done. You do it in corporate life, right? If you're HR, you are HR. You are into software programming, you work in software programming. No, defense is not like that. You are trained to lead men. That is the most important thing. Rest everything can follow. You can make people learn things, right? Same concept. Wherever I went, I learned the job. I used to give myself a month or two to learn the job. Okay, understand how the functioning is done. Make my own notes during that small, maybe month maximum. I think I would have taken a month and a half, depending on the vertical of, depending on the responsibility which was there. Not more than that. I did not go more than 15 days to understand the whole job. So I used to make my own notes, observe people, observe things, how things are going on, and then start modifying it the way I want the work to be done. Some changes had to be made, those changes were made. Some changes were not to be made, and I continued to make them function in the same manner as the previous person was doing it, right? So yeah, so these are the challenges. So we have, as any defense officer, we go through different roles and verticals, and we learn at each role. So that is, now another trait which comes in here is flexibility and adaptability of a leader. Can a leader adapt to different situations, different changes, different roles and responsibilities? If you are a true leader, you will automatically adapt to different situations, different roles and responsibilities. That is another biggest trait of a leader: adaptability. Adapt to situations, adapt to change, right? Most important. So we are trained to adapt to different situations. I can tell you, since as I told you, I was part of Kargil War. I know Kargil War was a different story by itself. Then I was I went for anti-passive patrolling, so that's a different game by itself. Then I was into strategy and planning. That's a different game by itself. No, all things are not connected to each other, but yeah, I performed at every places, right? So we learn at each places. So when I say learn, is where your adaptability comes in. How adaptable you are to bring about a change in yourself. You should be able to adapt to changes and not the situation to adapt to you. You can't make mentors grow to change, right? You have to change to adapt to mentors grow, right? And that adaptation has to be with a positive mindset, right? It can't be, okay, yeah, I have to do it, I'll do it. No, it has to be with happiness, with some spirit in that. It has to be with positivity. Only then you'll be able to change, adapt quickly, and be successful in that. Yeah, I hope I've answered that.
Okay, so sir, as you mentioned that at the age of 18 you started working on yourself. So how did you came up with that idea that you wanted to be a Navy officer and you want to serve for the country at the age of 18, I mean?
Yeah, it's just 18 years, yes. I had just finished my 12th. I was in fact giving my board exams. And my father was an army officer. My uncle was an army officer. So our family has been in the army for long. My cousin was a naval officer who was my, in fact, I will say he was my mentor for me to join the Navy. And I was from starting very inquisitive or interested towards the technical side. Okay. So the most technical arm in the defense is Air Force and Navy. Okay. So now the decision was to me, Air Force or Navy. Now that time, it used to be like, sail on ships and see the world. So that was my basic motto to join Navy. Yeah, join the Navy, sail on ships, see the world, go to different ports. That was one thing. Second thing, I wanted to join the aviation side. I was very interested in aviation, aeroplanes from my childhood. I wanted to become a pilot, but for whatever reasons, could not get into that. So the only other option was for me to join Air Force or Navy, but I chose to join Navy because Navy I could get a much more exposure, both in terms of the ship life and the aviation side. So those were the motivations that time to join defense. And yeah, so I had my mentors with me who guided me all throughout. And I'm here after 26 years. I joined, I left service as a aviation engineer.
Okay,
And
sir. So please go ahead. Sir. Go ahead.
and the next motivation was that I had seen the army life, right? See from my child, I had seen the army life with my father. Been to different places all over the country. I saw my uncle in army. So I had seen enough of army. I didn't want to go to the. I would have loved that journey again, but I thought, let me see something new, right? So I found Navy more interesting, so that was the option. Yeah.
Okay, so next we have a question in the chat box. What would be some of the challenges that the new generation leaders are going to face, because everything has changed now? We have gone into a virtual world, and there are we operate nationally and internationally. Sometimes leaders might be having people from different countries, so it's going to be very challenging for people to operate through online mode. So what would be some challenges that they would be facing?
Yeah, so see, in the present scenario where everyone is online, work from home, so it has got its own challenges, right? See, here the challenge here is that you're not face to face. You're not physically present there, right? You can't be with your team to see what work they're doing, right? So that is the biggest challenge of leadership in the present scenario, in this COVID era. So you have to adapt to it, you have to modify it, and accept these challenges as things which are beyond your control. I can't be with my team. I can only connect with them online, tell them. Here the most important thing will be to keep that motivation up. Since I'm not there with them physically to understand the challenges, I need to connect with them on a regular basis, one-to-one, maybe as a team and individually, to keep understanding what challenges are they facing while doing the job, right? And try to solve it as much as possible. it's a challenging time. Yeah, leadership, online leadership, you have to modify it again, adapt to it, adapt to this particular scenario, find out of the box. You have to think out of the box here and find ways and means to keep yourself connected up without underliner, without disturbing them. It can't be that every hour I keep having a call with them. Okay, tell me, what happened. You're disturbing them. Finish it, do the job. Correct, isn't it? Once in a day, twice a day, you have a meeting, morning, evening. Understand? If somebody has a problem, he can always give you a call. Come up online, explain it, right? Isn't it? So yeah, challenges are there, but I'm sure if there's a true leader, he'll think out of the box and make sure things are done.
Thank you, sir. I think we have come to an end to this event. Thank you so much, for sharing your experience. I could really see how courageous you are. You had a lot of challenges. You faced everything. And, the thing that hit me the most was, to spend at least 1 hour per day for yourself. All these things actually inspired me. I think it inspired all of us. And it was really great talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vidya and Mansi, for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to thank Mentors Guru also to uh, give me this opportunity to share my experience, my journey in the defense. And yeah, and any more questions, people can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm there on LinkedIn, and you can connect with me on the phone. I'm sure I'll be able to help people people, organizations, and otherwise, to understand them, and they can understand me and help them out in their challenges. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mansi.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.